Ferrari's lack of performance this season has been an absolute mystery. Whenever asked about it, the team have kept their mouths closed, talking around the issue, claiming it's something they're working on, but being very careful not to reveal what it is that Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton keep complaining about over the team radio. With how close they were in performance to McLaren at the end of last season, everyone thought they'd be fighting for race wins and championships this year, but it seems that this one secretive issue has been holding them back. Ahead of the Belgium Grand Prix in 2 weekends' time, when the Scudderia will have a massive upgrade package, the one problem that has stopped Hamilton and Leclerc from fighting the McLarens has been revealed, and today I'm going to talk about it, so don't go anywhere. Last weekend's British Grand Prix will be remembered for a number of reasons. It saw Nico Hülkenberg break his streak of 238 races without a podium finish, getting it done on the 239th time of asking. Lando Norris won his first British Grand Prix, closing the gap to the top of the championship and keeping the pressure on current leader Oscar Piastri. It was also the first time Lewis Hamilton had finished off the podium at the British Grand Prix since 2014, an incredible streak which was shockingly broken by a Sauber of all things. Even in Mercedes' toughest moments over the past few years, Lewis had managed to make it to the podium, but in a Ferrari this season, some mysterious issue held him back. His opinions on the car that he ended up with for Sunday's Grand Prix were not good either. Hamilton said the Ferrari he drove in the wet-dry British Grand Prix was the most difficult car I've driven in these conditions. The race started on a damp track, which dried a little before a heavy rain shower and then dried again. The event was packed with incidents and featured 3 safety cars. They were conditions in which Hamilton's almost unmatched experience should have allowed him to excel, but the SF25 just wasn't a match for him. The car was unbelievably tricky to drive. I think ultimately I learned a lot today. There's a lot to take from the day, said Hamilton, who has won a record 9 British Grand Prix. It's only my second time driving in the wet in this car. I can't even express to you how hard it is. It's not a car that likes those conditions. For me, it's important to sit down with the people that are designing the car for next year, because there's elements of this car that cannot go into the following year. It was a scathing review, but one that won't surprise many fans and F1 followers. It has been the best part of 20 years since the Ferrari design team made a car on the same level of the current McLaren or the Red Bull from a couple of years ago. The truth is that the team at Maranello just don't seem able to compete with the top teams. They have flashes of brilliance, such as at the start of the current regulations, when they did have the best car in the sport, but they're only flashes. For the second half of last season, they were more than a match for McLaren, but over the winter they changed 90% of their car, and the result is something far worse than what they started with. Hamilton said that Ferrari have upgrades coming to the car in the upcoming races, following the new floor that was introduced at the previous race in Austria. Leclerc said, "We were kind of nowhere the whole race. And when I say nowhere, it's like really nowhere. I was a second off the pace, and on top of that I was doing lots of mistakes. I was really struggling to keep the car on track, so it was an incredibly difficult day." While the race result wasn't what Ferrari were wanting, it was in qualifying that the problem really reared its head. It was in the high-speed corners in particular, when really pushing the car to 100%, that the 2 Ferrari drivers struggled. But before I talk about the problem that's been holding Ferrari back all season, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch more news and analysis from this season of F1, then make sure to press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. It was Charles Leclerc who let slip the problem that Ferrari had been facing all year. He hinted at the mysterious problem with his Ferrari that had been bothering him in high-speed corners. Having made a mistake in qualifying and falling to 6th position on the British Grand Prix grid, Leclerc launched into an expletive-laden tirade on the team radio, slamming himself for his messy performance. After he'd cooled down and addressed the media, however, Leclerc suggested there was also a gremlin with the SF25 that had been hindering him while driving on the limit in high-speed corners, of which Silverstone features many. "The issues we have are very specific. It's not a balance issue, it's not a grip issue," Leclerc mysteriously said. "I don't want to go into the detail, but it's just something very weird that we've got to fight into the car. Especially when they are at high speed, it makes it even more difficult. I hope we can resolve it. I cannot go into detail, I'm sorry." Team boss Fred Vasseur also stuck to Leclerc's line and refused to divulge details. He said also that he won't disclose it. "I have to stick to the team order. I won't disclose it. It can be fixed, but it's true that we are struggling with something." Ferrari's blunt refusal to talk about the problem is a little surprising, but insiders at the team have let slip what it was. The Italian version of motorsport.com revealed that their sources at the team had told them that it is a power steering issue that intermittently rears its head when the drivers are pushing to 100% through high-speed corners. In this case, the problem seems to emerge when drivers push hard in fast sections, where lateral G-forces put a strain on the system. When the drivers are trying to get everything they can out of the car, the feeling of how close the grip is to letting go is crucial, and even the slightest issue can make a difference to a driver's confidence in the car and the smoothness of their inputs, which will obviously hurt lap times too. Leclerc's description of the problem backs up what insiders at the team have revealed. Even though Leclerc didn't publicly disclose what the problem was, he did reveal that a fix was coming. "We've got some upgrades coming which will cure some particular issues, which I think will help us in some places," Leclerc said. "We'll try to fix them. It's a bit of a shame." On the 27th of July, F1 will be racing at the famous Spa-Francorchamps, and Ferrari will be hoping that their massive upgrades will finally allow them to fight with the McLarens for podiums and maybe even race wins. We've heard a number of times throughout the season that Ferrari are working on a rear suspension upgrade that would put them on equal footing with McLaren, but it has been delayed a number of times. Sadly for Hamilton and Leclerc, the upgrade is likely coming too late for them to fight for a championship, but it might prove to their fans that the team can still build a competitive car, improve throughout a season, and give hope for what might happen next season. The team are expecting it to bring roughly a tenth of a second worth of performance to the car, which in itself would be massive due to how close the field is at the moment. However, if it also helps solve the power steering problem and instills some confidence in the drivers, then the upgrade could be worth far more than that. At Spa, they'll need it as well, as the famously fast track will require Leclerc and Hamilton to push to the absolute limit if they want to compete for a place at the front of the grid. So far this season it's been all McLaren at the front of the grid, but McLaren team principal Andrea Stella believes Ferrari's latest upgrades will add lasting intrigue into the Formula One Championship battle. At Silverstone, when considering who might fight his team for the win, Andrea identified Ferrari with their new floor as the bigger threat than Verstappen. Definitely, I have to say that looking at the lap times that Ferrari have been able to pull off in every single session, Ferrari seem to be the strongest team. Probably they still are the strongest team, said Stella, when asked if his championship-leading outfit was expecting a challenge from Ferrari rather than Verstappen. With the addition of the new rear suspension, McLaren could be in for some serious competition over the second half of the season. Do you think it will make a difference to the championship standings though? And could we finally see Hamilton on the podium for Ferrari at Spa? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.